Hey guys, Grivenoni here. Before we get started with today's episode, I have a new nickname suggestion from you all in the comments. Today's nickname suggestion has been brought to us by Uberdan9254, and he has suggested the nickname Snoop for our Oddish. This is in reference to, well, cannabis, or weed as most people refer to it. He actually suggested 3 different nicknames. He suggested either 420, Blaze, or Snoop, and I felt between the 3 options that Snoop was relatively the best nickname, but it's all a cannabis reference in the end. So thank you very much, Uberdan, for the suggestion. And now, let us begin the episode. Hey guys, Grivenoni here, and welcome back to Pokémon HeartGold. Last time, we flew here to Ecruteak City after getting the Master Ball from Professor Elm, and we hopscotched between Ecruteak City and Route 37 over and over and over and over and over again in order to obtain Entei and Raikou, the legendary beast. Now, before we get into what we're going to do today, I need to show something off because I feel like bragging again. So, on my Entei and Raikou, I actually got really good natures on these guys. I got Brave Nature on Entei, which boosts his attack but lowers his speed, which is fine. But more importantly, I got Modest Nature on Raikou. Gives it more special attack in exchange for less physical attack. Considering that's meant to be a special attacker, that is the best nature you could possibly get on a Raikou. And I just got it. I didn't grind for this. I didn't cheese my way to get it at all. Oh, that is so nice to get beneficial natures on both of these guys. But anyway, all bragging aside, what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be going back to the Ecruteak Dance Hall. We were told by Professor Elm at the start of the last episode that the kimono girls that we've encountered want to see us. So since we found all of them... Oh, never mind. We're going to get interrupted by Argento. How is this possible? How can I lose to mere kimono girls? You were watching me, Griffin. Honestly, I was not expecting you to show up. Yeah, that's right. I never thought defeating 5 kimono girls would be so hard. I got beaten to a pulp. You must have come here for the same reason, right? Don't get cocky just because you defeated Team Rocket. These kimono girls are insanely strong. Go ahead, see if you can defeat them. But I'm not going back. I don't want to see you win. Well, you're just being petty. I love that little animation of Argento right there because it really does show the emotions of Argento, which, given that we don't really have a lot of ways to express ourselves in the field right now, I really think that's a great attention to detail that they did that. It's so nice to show off Argento's struggle. Anyway, let's head in for ourselves, shall we? Behold, the army of Komodo women! Welcome, my name is Zuki. I met you previously in Violet City. In order to bring back Ho-Oh, we needed someone with the right bond with Pokemon. We asked Mr. Pokemon to give this mystery egg to whoever showed true potential. The egg was eventually handed from Mr. Pokemon to Professor Elm and then to you. However, being pure alone will not be sufficient to face the power of this Pokemon. I must test you. Are you ready? Yes, it's time to be tested by the Kimono Girls. I will test how closely you've bonded with your Pokemon. Oh yeah, unique transition for the Kimono Girls, you better recognize. Anyway, we're challenged by Kimono Girl Zuki. She's going to be starting off with Umbreon, level 38. Umbreon, level 38, has synchronized for the ability, so if you try to flip the status condition on it, it will be reflected back on you, so be careful. Has to move Dark Pulse, Shadow Ball, Confuse Ray, and Last Resort. Very good moveset for an Umbreon, all things considered. So I think what I'm going to do, because Ceres is not the absolute best Pokemon to do this job, I'm going to use U-Turn right out of the gate, and I'm going to switch out. Yeah. Remember when I said Umbreon was super defensive? This is what I was talking about. I am going to bring in Hogan for this battle. Hogan is currently holding the EXP share, so it's not the absolute best thing, but at the same time, Hogan is by far the best option to deal with Umbreon at the moment. So we're going to go ahead and use Brick Break, and we're going to see how much damage this will do. On the one hand, it is super effective, so it should do a lot. On the other hand, Umbreon is very, very defensive, as I have said. So it is a bit of a problem. Now we just need to get really lucky and bypass the confusion. Can Hogan do it? Nope, it cannot. We tried. Dark Pulse is a very decently powerful dark type attack. It's base 80 power and special attack, which honestly is probably like the most reliable dark move that you can have in the game. This did not exist before Gen 4 and is such a needed move for dark types to have. But in any case, Ceres and Hogan each gained their respective amounts of EXP, and we defeated Kimono Girl Zuki. I don't have any Pokemon left. We got over 9,000 money for winning because Ceres has the amulet coin. But now we have to deal with the other 4. You're quite strong. You helped me in the Ilex Forest. My name is Naoko. I am the one that's not so good at directions. My eyes witness you defeating Team Rocket when Kurt was in trouble at the Slowpoke Well. Allow me to challenge you and your Pokemon. Yeah, you don't get a break. You want to do the test with the Kimono Girls, you have to deal with all 5 of them in a row. Next up is Kimono Girl Naoko. She's going to be sending in Espeon, level 38, also synchronized for the ability, with the moves Psychic, Swift, Psych Up, and Last Resort. Hopefully Ceres is faster than Espeon, which fortunately it is. We're going to use U-turn and get Ceres the heck out of there. But yeah, even with it being super effective, Espeon still withstood the attack incredibly well. Given that her Espeon doesn't have any good way to deal with it, I think I'm going to bring out my own Espeon, and we're going to have a proper Espeon versus Espeon fight. It does have superior psychic offensive capabilities compared to Akita, but Akita has Shadow Ball. But it also has Swift. Let's see who the superior Espeon is here. You better recognize that it's my Espeon, my Akita. So Ceres and Akira each gain 400 and Hogan get 801 EXP. Guess it's just like that. Oh, you truly are strong. And another 9,100 for winning, getting lots of money from these ladies. But we're not done by a long shot. You're quite the trainer. I remember you chasing off that Team Rocket grunt from right to here. I must thank you for that. Although I am actually a trainer myself. She who knows the most speaks the least. I am Miki, the Kimono Girl. Allow me to challenge you and your Pokemon. Round 3, baby! So now we are challenged by Kimono Girl Miki. She has Flareon. Man, you really got the short end of the stick here. Anyway, Flareon, all kidding aside, level 38, Flash Fire for the ability, with the moves Fire Blast, Will-O-Wisp, Quick Attack, and Last Resort. I'm gonna do what I've been doing previously and use U-turn and get Ceres out of there. The only reason I have Ceres up front right now is because Ceres, well, has the amulet coin. I really want to get as much money out of the Kimono Girls as I reasonably can. Wasting no time and immediately using Fire Blast. Again, Mizumori is neutral to fire because of its ice typing, but it also does have Thick Fat for the ability. Unfortunately, I got very, very unlucky with the timing, and now Mizumori is going to die. That's a problem. What else can I do? Guess we can bring in Raido for this. Thunder Punch is probably going to be our best option. Fortunately, Will-O-Wisp has not triggered yet. Well, didn't go off successfully, so we should be okay. Oh, there it is. Will-O-Wisp has gone off. Will-O-Wisp has decent accuracy and burns the opponent. The biggest problem with Will-O-Wisp is that burning Raido will make it so that his physical attack is halved, and that is not beneficial for me. It's especially not beneficial when Flareon hits like a truck. I'm really getting my comeuppance when I said earlier that Flareon is not a great Pokemon. Okay, all things considered, given what we have left coming up, I think I am going to use my full restore on Raido. Now's a good time to do that. Gonna heal Raido back up. That'll get rid of the burn, and more importantly, it'll fully restore Raido's HP, so Raido can get back in the fight properly. Yeah, no free passes here, Flareon. Yeah, it's so much damage for a quick attack. Oh, Last Resort. I think he could use Last Resort. But either way, Last Resort is a very weird move. Once you've used all of your other moves, only then can you use Last Resort properly. It really is the last resort, but it does hit very hard if you're able to get it off. More importantly, we defeated Kimono Girl Miki, got $9,100 for winning, and Hogan leveled up again. Excellent fighting spirit. You got me off the ice by pushing me from the back. I am the one who skates in sandals. I am Sayo, the Kimono Girl. I was listening in the Dragon's Den when you passed the test of the Elder. Allow me to challenge you and your Pokemon. I hit the A button way too quickly. So that is alright, but we still have 2 more formidable evolutions left. This is probably going to be the most trickiest to deal with. Jolteon, level 38. Volt Absorb for the ability with the moves Thunderbolt, Thunder Wave, Double Team, and Last Resort. And unfortunately, Cyrus is slower than Jolteon and is probably going to die. Critical hit, come on! I'm gonna call it, that critical hit mattered. I don't care what anyone says. Yeah, we still don't really have a good way of dealing with electric types, even as far as we've come in this game. So, we're just gonna have to press ahead and hope that we can actually get through this. The problem is, Jolteon with Thunderbolt is devastating. Argento's not, I'm kidding. These Kimono Girls do not screw around. There's a very real chance, based on how I'm doing here, that I may realistically lose this fight. Because I can't even get off a hit. Especially with it knowing Double Team. And of course, because it used Double Team one time, now Lava Plume is never going to land. Oh my god. Can you stop with Double Team? Fine, I'll use Swift, since you're not going to do anything else until I decide to do anything else. I may actually lose this. This is not good. Okay, this is not good. Yeah, I think I'm gonna lose this, guys. Honestly. I don't have a good way of dealing with Jolteon. That's the big problem. Okay. Well, this is very embarrassing. So, yeah, we've lost 4,200. We don't screw around. So guess what that means, guys? I got to do all them again. In between cuts, I decided to go to the Pokemon one more time. Let's see what we have here. Kebia berries. Beautiful. Anything else? Yes, actually, we did. Pasho berries. I think those are relatively new here. Let me double check. Okay, clearly Crobat is not happy with me. Pasha berries, we've gotten those before, but Kebia berries are relatively new. It's the same thing that we've seen in a lot of cases, so Kebia berries will deal with super effective poison type attacks, as many of them do. Okay, well, we're just gonna have to keep at this until I successfully get through all of them. I'll cut ahead to when I can actually get past the last 2, because I doubt that you want to see me do all 5 in a row again. Okay, Mizumori got burned, but at the very least, she survived against Flareon and leveled up. Unfortunately, Ceres got knocked out during the fight, so not only is she more upset with me now, but I don't get the Amulet Coin bonus moving forward. Okay, so we are challenged by Kimono Girl Sayo again. This is the one we lost to previously. I do have a plan, but unfortunately, I can't involve Ceres with it this time, so we get no bonus. So what I'm gonna do this time is the same thing that she's doing. I'm pretty sure Volt Absorb does not work on Thunder Wave. Nope, it does. That sucks. Really? So there's nothing I can do unless she uses Last Resort. Okay, fine. Really? That's all I had. I can't even... Literally the only way I can paralyze Jolteon now is if I use Last Resort. Well, he uses Last Resort and it causes static to go off. That's literally the only way that's going to happen. This Jolteon's such a pain, and I know that if I had a ground type, this would be a total non-issue, but I don't, and I don't have any reasonable way to use one right now. We're never gonna hit this thing. We're just gonna sit here till the end of days, because it's just spamming double team over and over again to ensure that it never gets hit. My only chance is to use Swift. But I'm not gonna switch out, because as soon as I do that, it's just gonna kill me. Thank you, Rido. At the very least, you got in a hit. Now we just need to wait 5 more turns. Come on! Trigger static! No, you could not have done less to trigger static. Please let static go off. It did not. To the surprise of no one, it did not go off at all. Okay. Let's try for Hogan. At the very least, Hogan is close to the full HP. The problem is, of course, why did I go for Brick Break? Brick Break's not gonna hit. Oh, I'm so stupid. And of course, Aerial Ace goes off. So Hogan right now has the Quick Claw item. I figured that would at least help a little bit, but of course, Aerial Ace, while it can't miss, it can't deal good damage because Jolteon resists. Oh my god. I know in the future, I know how things are gonna play out, and so I know that in the long run, the whole matter of, oh, we're never gonna be able to deal with Electric types well, it will go away. This problem will not be pervasive. But right now it is. Right now it's a big, big problem. I have no way of surviving. Like, this one Jolteon has deconstructed my whole team now twice. Gonna go for Surf. Why did I not go for Thunderbolt? Okay, no complaints, I guess. Please. Okay, thank God. This is about as disgraceful a performance as it could possibly be. And we're still not done. Oh, close. I almost had you. Almost. We're just going to pretend that that other loss never happened. We have one more fight to do. I am the last one. You were so dependable at the Goldenrod Tunnel. I am the one who twirls even underground. I am Kuni, the kimono girl. I looked at you in wonder when you thwarted Team Rocket's mission to take over the radio tower. You must show your strength to me now. Allow me to challenge you and your Pokemon. All right, final Kimono Girl. It's theoretically possible that we can get through this. So, Kimono Girl Kuni, she has Vaporeon, level 38, Water Absorb for the ability with the moves Surf, Aurora Beam, Quick Attack, and Last Resort. Before we do anything, we need a heal. Right now. I can't guarantee that Akira will be able to stay in the fight because he is underleveled and unfortunately does not have the best defenses in the world, at least with respect to Vaporeon. But at the very least, we can trick the computer into using Quick Attack to start off. I think all things considered, I am going to go ahead and use Shadow Ball. Oh, Akira is faster. That makes sense. Unfortunately, Vaporeon is also a lot bulkier than Akira. So my absolute best bet is going to be trying to lower Vaporeon's special defense with Shadow Ball while also getting in some extra damage. All right, Mizumori, it's all on you. And if things do not go well, then I will absolutely bring back Rido, because Rido can definitely take care of this, but I want to see if I can get through this without having to use a Revive. Thank merciful Christ I am not doing a Nuzlocke, because otherwise this would be the end of it, and that would really suck. We don't have the absolute best methods of dealing damage to each other, but at the very least, Mizumori does have Body Slam at the moment. And while it is using Body Slam, we can still inflict damage and, of course, inflict paralysis. Okay, there we go. By no means was that a clean victory. Not even close. But we did get through it. Oh, you're wonderful. Thanks. I'm glad you think so. I don't. I imagine my Pokemon are all very upset with me. And I do not blame them. We were not wrong about you. You're indeed worthy of this. Am I? Please take it. All right, we got the clear bell. More importantly. Oh, there's a tiny child here. Big sisters! I just saw the big shadow of a Pokemon over the bell tower. It could be... Griffin, we'll be at the bell tower. See you there. Mother, not right now. Mizumori, do you feel good? Oh yeah, Mizumori feels good. Mizumori danced a wonderful dance. Dance the dance of wonders, Mizumori. We did it, guys. We defeated the kimono girls. However, that is not the end of the episode. I would not make a whole episode just out of fighting 5 trainers, even though technically I had to fight 10. But that has nothing to do with me. That has to do with... Well, no, that has to do with me. I'm not going to blame my Pokemon. I didn't train them well enough. That is definitely the problem. Okay, so now that we have gotten the clear bell, it is time for us to go back here. Barrier Station to Bell Tower. No trespassing by the unworthy. Well, I have good news for you guys. We are now finally indeed worthy. Past here is the Bell Tower. This tower was built as a place of rest for Ho-Oh, the legendary flying-type Pokemon. Since Ho-Oh left, many people have gone up to the tower to try to bring it back, but none have succeeded in making Ho-Oh appear. Morty, the gym leader, is one who has tried. I see. That's the Critique Gym Badge. The badge alone will not do any good, but I can let you through. Please do go on. Well, we can at least proceed onwards. And we can now head upwards to the Belltime Trail. This is one of my favorite looking areas in the game. Just the coloration of the ground, the leaves, and the trees. These trees are not used anywhere else. They're not treated as headbutt trees. But my god, it adds such characteristic to this one area. It's beautiful. And I appreciate the fact that they took away all the music here just for you to take in the moment here. But now it is time. Welcome to the Bell Tower. We have a whole new dungeon to go through. Oh, you have a new sage to talk to. That thing you have. Yep. You know it, man. You've done it. Please come through. Okay, well, as you can see, we have the lovely spire in the middle that we saw in the tower in Violet City. Now, before we go any further into this tower, I want to talk about one thing. Now, in this dungeon, there are no new Pokemon that we can find here. Well, aside from the one inevitable one, but we'll get to that later. However, if we were playing Soul Silver version, our business today would not even take us here. Rather, it would take us to the Whirl Islands, just off of Cianwood City. We technically could go there right now if we wanted to, but there really isn't anything there for us at the moment. That said, in the Whirl Islands, there are a couple of bodies of water inside. And in those bodies of water, there is one new Pokemon that we can find there. And that Pokemon is Horsea. Now, Horsea is a very unique water type, with it being primarily focused on having high physical defense and high special attack. It's also unique in that despite the fact that it's not a dragon type, Horsea and its evolved form Seadra both learn multiple great water and dragon type moves to level up, including Bubble Beam, Brine, Hydro Pump, Twister, Dragon Dance, and Dragon Pulse. These moves, combined with later impressive speed, can make Seadra a great threat, especially against certain battles we have in the future. However, Seadra doesn't have great HP or special defense, which could potentially make him vulnerable. Fortunately, Seadra is not done. If you trade away Seadra while it is holding the dragon scale we obtained, you can get Kingdra, which not only has near perfectly well-balanced stats, but also becomes a water dragon type, giving it a myriad of resistances and only one weakness, dragon. It doesn't get a ton of coverage, unlike many water types, but this thing is just so darn good and difficult to get over that it doesn't really need much in the way of coverage. Did I mention that it can have Sniper for an ability to boost its critical hit rate, or Swift Swim to make it a devastating sweeper in the rain? This makes it a top contender among the water type Pokemon in this game, and is one of the easiest Pokemon I could possibly recommend, provided you've taken the time to get the Dragon Scale and are able to trade. Also, fun fact, Horsea is tied with Jigglypuff for the largest number of core series games where they can be encountered and caught in the wild. And they say Zubat and Tentacool are the super common ones. So with that quick little bio out of the way, let us press onward into the bell tower. There isn't anything else in this room except for, of course, wild Pokemon. Like I said, there aren't any new Pokemon for us to find here, but that doesn't mean that we are devoid of wild Pokemon to encounter as a whole. Gonna head up this ladder here, and now we're dealing with the real mechanic of this area. So here we have a very unique type of ledge. It is basically just a ledge you would find in the wild. Right there is a full heal, and it's simply just a matter of you kind of hopping over these ledges in mid-air. Akira is like mid-air right now in this particular encounter. I'm curious to see what's gonna happen. Okay, that was a weird cut. Anyway, that's how you want to go about going through this place. Just gotta hop through these little covers one at a time until we get where we need to go. I got an encounter from turning. I just turned. So much like the Sprout Tower that we encountered in the in a previous area, Bell Tower is properly treated as a cave. It is not considered an indoor area. So for certain Pokemon that we have seen and Pokemon that we will see in the future, for all intents and purposes, you have to treat this place as a cave when you go here. The little ground underneath Rattata and Akita should signify that to you. Oh boy, now we have the real tricky one. So here we have the kind of the real complicated room, which has a lot of ledges for us to go through. I want to be sure I grab everything here. Right there's a PP up. And before we go up that ladder, I'm gonna trek back through and see what else there is. And yeah, you really just have to find wild Pokemon on the absolute one and only spot that there is on this one tile. Weirdly enough, despite the fact that this place is treated as a cave, most of your Pokemon will be able to walk through this place just fine. Weirdly enough, if you have a Diglett or Doug trio in the front of your party and they're acting as your companion Pokemon, they actually will not come out. I guess it's because they don't want to imply that the wood would be affected by this, but yeah, you absolutely, God bless, I've screwed this up. You can't have a Diglett or Doug trio out in this particular tower. Okay, so we need to hop here, go left, and then right here, get ourselves an Ultra Ball. Very nice. Now, as you saw here, there are 3 ladders that go up. There are different areas that we want to go to upstairs, and each one of them has their own benefits. Right here is the least beneficial one. That is just so that we can get back down and move on to the next area as applicable. So we'll head up here. This is another dead end over here, so forget what I said earlier. There aren't a myriad of paths, just a myriad of ways to recover. God bless. Okay, up here in the bell tower, well, and obviously in the bell tower, we have larger ramps. It doesn't matter that they are wider, it doesn't really have any practical purpose, but it is there. Mother, I really do not have the time right now. But anyway, right here we get a rare candy. And we actually have quite a few of these. I probably should be using at some point. I know some of you are probably screaming at me to use a rare candy at the moment, given what I currently have in my party. But nope. I will tease you all about this as long as I need to. All right, now we're going to hop down this way, and I think we need to go to the left. Yes. Yep, that takes care of everything we need to do on this floor. So let's head up. And we have another item right here. Found a max potion. Very, very useful item. Now we're going to head across this bridge here. I do love the fact that they have unique bridges just for this environment. The whole amount of sprite work that they have here is nice. And you can kind of tell based on like the camera angles and the movement of the sprites that you actually do kind of go down slightly. It's not a straight bridge. It does kind of veer downwards a bit, and I love that detail a lot. But now we have another mix here. So now we have warp tiles in this room. Yeah, I use a repel. I'm not gonna say that I'm not gonna be using repels here. This is not a place I want to find what I am looking for here. Max revive. Very, very nice item. Gonna go down this way, make sure there aren't any other items here. Nope, should be good. So let's see what this warp panel does for us. So that brings us to the middle segment of this room. And this warp panel will bring us here. This is a whole other floor, in case that wasn't clear. So we want to explore this room as much as we can. Not sure if there are any items here, but I will be thorough on this matter. Aren't any items on this floor, but there are on this floor. Max Elixir. Very, very nice item that fully restores all your power points. There's another item that we want to try to get on the other floor we were on. They really fake you out with this one. Okay, now we go this way, and that should take us to the warp panel that we need. There we go. Found a nugget. Akira slipped on the floor, seems likely to fall. Jeez, just be careful, Akira. So that should take care of everything that we need to do in this particular segment. Now I'm gonna go back and use a different warp tile. So there should be another warp tile somewhere in this room, which will take us where we need to go. Right here. There we go. Now we're gonna press onwards. I'm gonna avoid the other warp tiles. Well, no, I don't have a choice. Never mind. This is the one we need to use. And now we have this item here, an HP up. Very, very nice. And now let's head up to this warp tile, which should bring us over here. Wait, is this? No, this is different. Okay, full restore item. Very, very, very useful. Again, a lot of really good items here, so you absolutely want to be sure to grab all the items that you can your first time. Not that you can't come here later on, but there really is no point after the main event, so to speak. So, you notice as we're getting higher, though, music kind of softens. And now, we find ourselves at the top of the bell tower. And I'm going to end this episode right here. Next time on Pokemon HeartGold, we face off against the legendary Ho-Oh. See you guys then.